and see what he can do in the midst of unbelievers, on the leading edge with his word, his power, his grace, and his mercy. For God's sakes, we're Lutheran. This is what we know.
So before I get started with this video, I want to get something off my chest, something off my mind that's been troubling ever since, Jason, my friend Jason, did this podcast. So Jason and I, we've been friends, right, for a very long time. I think you were one of the newest friends that I made when I became a Lutheran. You were obviously very cautious to me, and we talk about our kids, family, wife, baseball, Rotkaroo, the Pennsylvania, of course, baseball player. Talk about food, you name it. But for some reason, you never told me that you had a podcast. So I don't know how to feel. I don't know if I should feel embarrassed of the fact that I didn't know that, or maybe upset that you didn't tell me this thing. So it's a kind of one of those situations. But secondly, and even more egregious, is the fact that you had the audacity, the temerity, the cojones, the unmitigated gall to invite Flame to your podcast before you invited yours truly, your man, Athanasius. But I get it. It's all about crowd and street cred. I mean, who can turn down, or who can criticize someone for inviting someone as popular and visible as my man Flame? Like he's a recording artist. He's a celebrity. He's doing movies now. I think he got nominated to an Oscar. He has lines of clothes and doing different things. I think the last thing I heard, maybe he bought like a basketball team with some other people. I mean, the guy is just everywhere. I mean, it's unreal. This dude never stops. And so from that sense, I understand it. I mean, trying to advance the podcast and be more visible and try to advance the cause of Lutheranism. But, putting myself aside on my hurt feelings, I want to commend you, Jason, for doing such a great job with that podcast. It was just flat out fascinating. I laughed with your sense of humor, very Minnesotan type of sense of humor. Not that I know much about that, because I'm just learning how to get myself around the country. But very funny. It was deep. It was light. It was casual. You spoke about issues that are very relevant. I really enjoyed Flame opening up and speaking about his experience as a Reformed Baptist, his transition out of that system, which of course is our goal here as Lutherans, try to get as many people out of that system, out of that kind of radical tradition, to Lutheranism, or to a more sacramental, historical Christianity. And so I really appreciate Flame opening up and speaking about his emotions, his thoughts, the pushback that he has received, the number of people and followers that he has lost along the way because of this move that he made. I really appreciated him tackling theological issues such as the Lord's Supper, the difficulty that he had embracing that. He's wrestling with that, observing the reaction from so many Christians in that other camp, and in Lutheranism as well, when the whole George Floyd situation happened, and how people, were very kind of selfish, generosity, hospitality, love for the neighbor went out the window. And also with the COVID thing and so many social issues. I really appreciated this video. It's or this podcast. It was one of those experiences where you don't get bored. Everything was on point. I thought you did a great job with your transitions. I just love the topic. And so my friends, Wittenberg Project family, I just wanted to give my man Jason Goodham, I hope I'm pronouncing the name the proper way, give him a shout out. Visit the podcast, of course, listen to it, check his podcast. But of course, this episode with Flame, superstar. I mean, the guy is just unreal, unbelievable. Seems to never stop. The last thing I saw on Instagram, he's jumping around with a bunch of teenagers in a concert. He travels all over the world. I mean, the guy Wonderful man. And the thing that I really truly appreciated is, like, as a former Calvinist myself, and I thank God every day for rescuing me out of that system, right? Is that I felt that I could empathize. Like, it's good to have someone of the caliber and the visibility of Flame explaining your thoughts and emotions, of, explaining and putting into words the way that you feel about things, if that makes any sense. Like he was talking about, I couldn't even number the amount of times, my man Flame, that I said, yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to this. And yes, that's so true. And I also battle with this, and I observe this. And for someone to just put it so casually out there and so clearly, right? It was just very, very encouraging to me. Very, very encouraging. So yeah, Wittenberg Project family, just wanted to let you know about this podcast. If you didn't know about it so far, go check it out. It's a great conversation. Jason did a great job as a host, and not only followed this specific interview that he did with Flame, but also followed the podcast. Jason is a great man. I really appreciate it. I love this dude. Can't wait to see him, visit him. I've always wanted to go visit Minnesota. It seems to be a very, European city. I've lived in Europe, so I visited the Scandinavian countries, and I want to experience that in this country. And so yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you next time.